Africa, say it louder. Say Shana. Salam alaikum. Assalam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalam alaikum.
United we stand, divided we fall. All we need is freedom. All we need is love. Free Africans free. Free Africans free.
Be free, be free, free from slavery. Free, be free, be free, free from slavery. Free, free yourself from mental slavery. Free, free yourself from mental slavery. Free, free yourself from mental slavery. Free, be free, be free, free from slavery. Be free, be free, free from slavery. Yeah.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, African one. If you wanna be free, the most simplest one in the world. Get yourself the bell with the reggae music coming straight to you from the one of the most peaceful man. So many lie down on the streets, whatever them we are dancing at the ends. Get yourself the most free time. I preach about freedom. Preach about freedom.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Better look on the street as a lesson, youth. Stop violence as a lesson. You have to listen and be a man. The music we are doing is not a music for fun. We are preaching, hear it loud and clear. Ain't night and day, no sleeping it out. Better preach, let the people hear. Better. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever you tune in. This is Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. We are live. It is April 26, 2026. It has been a long time since we had the episode last time, but here we are today with this very important topic. And you can see there, what is the focal point for political decision making now in South Sudan? This is a very broader topic. I'm going to be discussing wider issues in this episode today. But before we start, I want you to go ahead and share this live episode. Please go ahead and share it. And also share it on Facebook. And do not forget to subscribe our channel on YouTube. It is John Cormayol. Go ahead and subscribe it. So whenever we have new episode video, you'll be able, to see what we are talking about and what we are discussing. Please, that's the thing that I'm asking you to do today. Go ahead and share this live episode of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. Again, What is uh, the focal point for political decision making now in South Sudan? We have been talking for quite some time. It has been a long time since we have been talking. Yet, uh, many people, they may think, our talk has not resulting in anything positive in the country. Well, it does because we have been doing a lot of civic education since we started, talking in this platform of concerned citizen of South Sudan. But it takes collective effort, it takes collective responsibility, and also you have to have a moral courage to know that actually what we are doing here is so important. And that's why when we volunteer to do this, we are expecting you too, to help elevating this message that we are sending out to all citizens across the country. Uh, this question that we are asking today, what is the focal point for political decision making now in South Sudan? It should be clear to everybody that actually after signing the revitalized peace agreement in 2018, 12, December 2018, it's supposed to be a roadmap for the country to get out of the crisis. All of us are aware of that. And this is supposed to be actually where things are setting up for the governing, along with the constitution. Well, the revitalized peace agreement is supposed to be a stream constitution of the country for the interim period. But unfortunately, and I keep repeating this, and it is so sad, to be keeping talking about this every time. Our own president, President Salva Kiir Mayardit, has never been interested in stability in the country, has never been interested bringing a lasting peace in the country, has never been interested for the people of South Sudan to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The same very person that actually fought for 38 years from Anyanya 1 to liberation struggle. But unfortunately, after, it was giving an opportunity in 2005, later, 21 years, exact amount, is exact the time that actually our founding father is spent fighting for this great nation of South Sudan. The same exact amount of time that President Kiir actually spent, ruling as a totalitarian, in the country without resulting anything that actually can be beneficial for the citizens who have been in struggle. 21 years. 21 years with no roads, with no schools, with no hospital, with no infrastructure, with no security in the country. And yet he's in the power. And again, I keep repeating this, I'm so sad because it wasn't meant to be like that. The fighting was all about justice, liberty, and prosperity. We were fighting our common enemy, which is the governments in the north who have marginalized all the entire Sudan, except this small part of Khartoum, and so forth. So President Kiir, again, I can go back to what I have said, to this topic today. What is the focal point for a political decision making now in the country? President Kiir has never been interested, bringing lasting peace in the country. Why? This is how we see it. Because he wanted to die in power. And I never wrong about this. I have been saying this since I started the campaigning against this government in Juba. He wanted to die in power. And in order to do that, the only easy tactic, arithmetic for him, is to make it harder for the citizen. Is to make it harder not to have security in the country. Is to make it harder not to have a basic necessity for life, like cleaning water, there's hospital, there's schools, there's security, infrastructure. Not to have those. And to make you suffer and struggle and always worried about your well-being, your own security. Because if you are worried about all your well-being, about all your security, you are not going to be thinking about election, fairness, and all this. And above all, he have oppressed people of South Sudan very much. So he actually became an anti. He became an anti what people of South Sudan actually bear the arm and fought the common enemy for nearly 22 years. Because if people of South Sudan were fighting for justice, liberty, and prosperity, where is the justice today? Where is the liberty today? You cannot speak up. You cannot speak up about something wrong. Where is the prosperity? And that's what when I talk about the prosperity, it has something to do with basic necessity even. That's not real prosperous. And the hospital and road and, and simple security. None of these three things, and these are the top principles that people of South Sudan actually fought their own common enemy. But unfortunately, because President Kiir wanted to die in power, that's why he oppressed people of South Sudan. And he continued to oppress them. Interestingly, lately, people who always are waiting to be appointed in ministerial position or director general or governorship or whatever, in the country, everyone always come prepared to enter and prepared to exit. And it used to be like, roughly 3 to 6 months, you'll be appointed 3 to 6 months. So they develop a strategy that I will be appointed, for the next 3 months and to 6 years to 6 months, and then I will be fired. Salva Kiir actually is going to relieve me. So wherever, coming, they know what they are getting into. That's why they have to be prepared, stealing and doing whatever they wanted to do, because they're going to get out. There is no accountability anyway. And there is no budget that is going to be given to them so they can operate, whether in a ministry or in a governor, being a governor or a director general. So those actually who were coming, they were prepared. They were prepared. And they were not worried actually to be arrested or something like that, because it's all about system, kleptocratic corruption. So you come in, you steal, you get what you wanted to get, and then you get fired. Okay, you go to Nairobi, nice, lavish life, and so forth. Take your children there, get educated, and you are okay. Because those actually are people who just wanted to get in to get the benefit. That's it. But lately, interestingly, he started appointing people, and when you relieve them, they end up in Blue House. This is the new development, actually. We haven't seen this for, we start seeing this lately. These people, they get appointed, and then they end up, at the end of 3 months, they end up in Blue House. So that tell you really, this totalitarian regime of Salva Kiir Mayardit, the authoritarian, it start eating themselves. They start having more conflict within themselves. And the conflict become more deeper within J1. So there is much fighting within among themselves. And that fighting actually, it become like a thug's life, Baltagia. We are in it together, we are a group, but if that thug fell threat by other thugs, this thug is going to get popular and he's going to gain more, and so why not teaming up and getting rid of this thug? And that's exactly what happening lately, It become more. That's why some of them, they get appointed and they end up in J1 and in Blue House. And before even they end up there, some of them, they try to cross, the border and hiding under, some Rakuba somewhere there, crossing to go to Uganda and so forth. It's very shame. It is very shame. And this is take us back to the campaign that actually we have launched for a very long time, 10 years. That actually when you are complicit, this thing is going to get you. It is going to get you. The best thing to happen in the country is to have fairness. And that fairness, when there is a fairness, when there is a justice for all, and then you will not be worried about anything. If you get appointed tomorrow, if you get fired or something like that, you will not be worried about anything. But being a complicit, thinking that, you have a mentality of a hyena, I just wanted to get in, God, let me get in, but getting out is my own. It hasn't worked. And it hasn't worked for you, and it hasn't worked even for ordinary citizens. And that's why we continue this campaign for a very long time. Said, Jama, Nasna, South Sudanese, we have nothing to gain of, criticizing or talking or doing civic education. But for the love of the country, of the love of the people, that actually we need this fairness. Because this country, is more than enough for all of us. It's more than enough for generations to come. But unfortunately, those greedy, those really don't have any heart for the country, they have been resisting, and they have been opposing, and they have been thinking that actually getting in and being loyal to President Kiir, it will make them gain a little. But the little that gain is not going to do anything for the country, even to themselves. They will end up as a victim, because President Kiir actually, he has been surviving when he is dividing the people of South Sudan. And he has succeeded for doing that. Don't you remember when he said last time, when he was, confronted by his colleague, by, some other, actors in our region, East Africa, when he was told that, what, your people are dying. Why don't you allow the young people to leave their nation, to a better? But he responded to them, what is my incentive for leaving power? Which is mean that President Kiir actually, it doesn't seem the incentive that he has been fighting for all these years except the power. So he will not leave the power until he dies. But in order to remain in power, he has to divide the people of South Sudan. He has to create more conflict in the country, because when there is stability, people will be thinking about the development, and fairness and election and things like that. So he has succeeded dividing people along ethnic line, along the regional, along the tribe. He has, even along the clans. This is what we have seen, and we continue to see. Not only that, along the region or ethnic or the tribal line, he succeeded even to divide even within the family. Because today, if you see, I know, I keep talking about the clique of Warab. It's not only about now clique of Warab only. It went down to the family. And within the family, they have a conflict even within the sister wife. And I don't know you understand what I'm talking about when I said sister wife, When he appointed his own daughter, Adut, of course, Adut, she's pure, from Warab. Okay. There is no mixer there. Ayandit, he's from Warab, Salva Kiir Mayardit from Warab. But the other son, Thiek, his mother is from Jongole, which is from Bor. And you can see that there is a conflict, of sister wife. Thiek was promoted. It was promoted. But all of a sudden, the sister wife conflict, that's why I was saying that Kiir actually is a man that has fell on the extent of the country, to the level of the region, to the level even the family, And promoting, because as they said, bekalam betan the Junubin, jana lumu hay afdal min jana lumu may diamond. You can tell how the man had been running the country. And now everybody wondering what happened to his son, the quiet young man that we have known of, and now promoting his own daughter. This is Salva Kiir that we know, because who am I for power betaw? He will never allow someone else, to glue or to climb to the top of the leadership. That is why he has been having problem with the people. So, my dear brothers and sisters, I wanted to remind you, that's why I came up, talking about this topic today. I want to remind you more. As I said from the beginning, the central focal, point for the political decision, in the country, supposed to be lining up with revitalized peace agreement. But because he was not interested in stability, he did not want any implementation of this peace agreement. And we are all agreeing on that. And we have seen the behavior since day one. Finally arrested his opponent, and put him in house arrest, because the goal is to kill that process. And he has succeeded, killing that process, of revitalized peace agreement. But now my question is you. For how long now have you been, loyal to this government? We have been hammered, for a long time. You have been loyal to extend that actually you have forgotten your own interest, the clean water, the roads, the hospitals, the infrastructure, okay, the security in the country. Because if you see 20 years, 21 years that Kiir has been in power, he hasn't achieved anything to the people of South Sudan. Besides just himself, when there is any meeting in the region, always renting huge big airplanes from Ethiopia or from, Kenyan Airways, and that's it. This is what he has been. He is a show-up leader to attend international function, without doing anything in his own country that is ruling. So now, this loyalty that you are loyal, what have you gained from this loyalty? Just be honest. What have you gained from this loyalty? Nothing. And we are heading actually toward disintegration. Is that really what we want as a people, as a citizen, as the leaders, oppositions, those who support the government? That's what you want? My people can have differences, Yani, but at the end of the day, they have to look for the interests of the country. I know many people, they always say, oh, well, it's a new nation, it's a young nation, it's all this thing. But no. South Sudan existed. Nothing new about South Sudan. This geographical location existed for hundreds or for tens of thousands of years. America existed even for 250 years only, because when it was discovered. But we have been existed more than the Americas. It's not always about just land does not develop itself by itself. It developed by the people, because people felt that they wanted to do something when they have that human capital. And we do have this human capital. So you have been fooled. You have been fooled, and you have, and actually you accepted to be fooled always. But that's not the right thing. You shouldn't be accepting that, because President Kiir has divided people along ethnic, and he encouraged the culture of of this regionalism and clanism and all this thing, to bring you in and use you. But at the end of the day, you are going to end up as a scapegoat, Kapshal Fida. And it has happened to many. I can name them. It has happened to many, 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 many. It will use you and use you and use you. At the end of the day, it will throw you under the bus and blame all things on you. And in fact, actually, you are not the one that's causing the problem. He's the problem. But he has succeeded that. How many ministers of finance? How many governors? How many ministers? That President Kiir have used them. At the end of the day, dump them under the bus, and he will claim that those are the people who also, I don't have nuts that can work. I have people who can eat, and mine did not be child, did not be alcohol. And he's the one that eating actually with his family. And he's the one that actually marginalized the people. He's the one that don't want this country to move forward. He's the one. He's the one that oppressing everybody in the country. Because when the top leadership fell, what do you expect is going to happen? Everybody else will be thinking about having the same. This is what you get. And that's why I keep saying that open your eyes, South Sudanese. Do not allow yourself to be fooled to that extent. You have been fooled for a very long time. You have been loyal. You have been patient. You have been resilient to President Kiir because he's a veteran. He has fought. And yes, no one can deny all this thing. He has done so. He have done all this thing. But where we are heading, when a person is wrong, it has to be told that you are wrong. And it has to be resist. You can always give a chance to someone, to put his thing together, and realize what he has been doing. But if he's not realizing, and if he's continuing, and actually now he start pretending that these people, they are dumb, they don't know anything. This is how President Kiir is treating you, the people of South Sudan. Whether you are a supporter, of him, or you are in opposition, is treating everybody like a dumb, because there is no reaction from the people. He has done the worst of the worst, but there is no reaction. No reaction. It would have been told a long time ago by coming out and saying, no, you know what, it's not enough. You have been killing us. You created insecurity. You created economic hardship. You have done worse. You have made South Sudan less safer than any. You have made South Sudan, the worst country in the world, desirable to live. It's a time for you to leave this so we can get our thing together and fix it. But you have to have that moral courage. It is a moral obligation to you and me, for all of us. It's a moral obligation to stand. That one is stand. And have a moral courage. But if you don't have that moral courage, it's not going to happen. And you will continue to play tactic and game. And that's what everyone wanted to do. This is actually what has been happening, for a very long time. But for how long? That's my question is. Have you not learned from the past since 2005? The children who were born in 2005 now are 21 years old. And they are thinking even having their own families too. But can they do it really with the situation that the country in right now? Again, if you think that, I will find my way in, so why would I worry about the country being fixed or being better? I can be a minister, I can be a governor, I can be a director general, and then I will get a little thing that I will get and I'll survive. Then you are wrong. You will end up being an scapegoat. Atkun kapshal fida. Like others, those who have been there. Because the dictator doesn't have any mercy. Salva Kiir has showing that no mercy. People will die here, in central Equatoria, and he's there. They will die in Upper Nile, they will die in Barkazal, but he doesn't care. He will not say anything. He will not even do a press conference because he's not a leader. He's just there to loot. We know the leaders, when something happens, they come to the podium and they address the nation and they talk about it. Like, look what happened in Jebel Kaltan when those youth, they were working hard to find something to live, were killed. Have you heard President Kiir visiting the area or talking about it? No. Or all the death that happening in all these areas, in Upper Nile, whether in Akobo, in Malakal, and all these areas, have you heard President Kiir saying anything? No. Because the Mabihemu is not important to him. What is important to him is his power. What is important to him to have oil money. These are the things that are important to him. So if somebody doesn't care about you, not only one time, not only two times, always, why would you care about him? Why would you care about his power? An interesting thing, when they get squeezed and when they see people now start talking across the board from all different regions, including even our own, the Jiang community, now they start talking. And then they said, those who are beneficiary from the system, they will come say, wait a minute. Huh? We need unity of Jiang, or we do unity Monja. But I laugh loud always and ask a question. What is that unity is going to do? To do what? The history have taught us we unite to do something good, to do something that the nation is going to benefit, the people, going to benefit, like what we did, in Anyanya 1. We fought our common enemy, Anyanya 1, and then resulted in a Addis Ababa agreement. That's how we united as the people of South Sudan. And again, we united in 1983 to fight our common enemy. That's the unity of purpose. But now when you are calling me that we need to unite as a young, for you to do what to do what? To support Salva Kiir, right? But if you ask yourself, what Salva Kiir has done to the young? What he has done to the young? What Salva Kiir has done even to his own Awan Chan, to his own state of Warab? Zero. He hasn't done anything. What he has done to Madingaul, the backbone always, people who have supported him to remain in power. Paul Malongo has been loyal to him, protecting him. What he has done on the individual level, those who have been with him, for a very long time. What he has done to them? He hasn't done anything. He threw them under the bus. The whole entire community, the whole entire region. Well, you would have been proud a little bit, if he has done something to Bahr al Ghazal. Let's say, let's talk about the road to Bahr al Ghazal. If he work on that, achieving that one major thing, then you would have said, you know what? He is there for our interests. He constructed road to our region. He built hospitals. He built schools. Now our children, the children of martyrs, are going to school along with the children of general who are in the government. So he has done something that he deserved to be supported. But he hasn't done this. Instead, he encouraged the conflict. He created the conflict and he started watching. And actually, he got entertained. When they were fighting there at the Luanjang and a Poog and a Guag and all this in Warab, when people are fighting. When people are fighting in Lake State, he was excited. When they were fighting here, the Murale and the Nuer and the Dinka and Boer and all this, he was exciting. When the Shuruga were fighting also there with the Nuer and all this thing, he hasn't fell. That is a leader. And the leader always step up and said, my people are suffering and I cannot allow that to happen. No. And he said, لما تشاكلوا أنا بلم جيش بداية صغير ده بقرد نفسي بو and I'll protect myself and then I will let you suffer and then when you get defeated and then you run to Juba and then you and then from there maybe I can help you. That's the mentality of the men. Then you see that, my brothers and sisters. Then you see that Salva Kiir is not good even for a one chan. It's not good even to be a Marol Wood. It's not. Leaders are born as leaders, ya Jama. Yes, you can learn, but the most of time leaders are born leaders. They have that, in them, to lead. But the man he doesn't have that. And that's why you see the political turmoil, people are dying everywhere, the corruption and all this. But he has no empathy for it. Leader always have empathy. Leader always would put himself on the shoe of suffering ordinary citizen. وبخد نفسه في النعال بتاع المرأة الحامل جنى صغير زول تعبان زول كبير بنت. That's how leader, put themselves. But has President Kiir has done that? Tell me, but just challenge me. قول لي يا جون كوريا في حاجة حصل كده a tragic situation happened and President Kiir actually felt so bad and he went there himself and he said, my people, I feel your pain. This shouldn't happen this way. This is so regrettable and I will do what it takes to make it safer. Challenge me. Tell me. Has President Kiir one day has done something like that? He hasn't. He will get you and use you and throw you under the bus. And he has encouraged all this stupid, that we call them, رسخ, الاحتفالات السخيفة المتخلفة, العبثي. You will be appointed and then people from your county or from your state will celebrate and get money. Like what you're going to do. I was watching celebration for Mointwil, the one that was appointed recently. The guy that actually burned people alive. Zol al-Khan Harak Nas alive. Reappointed as the governor of Unity State. The guy that has militia, he has his own militia, terrorizing people in Unity State, in Ruwing, in all this area. Because this is how Salva Kiir operate. The one that actually will create problems to the citizen so they can be more stable, that's the one that will get to him, as long as you are just doing his own agenda. That's why you see he go to every community and he will pick the odd people who really wanted to eat, people who love the destruction. These are the one from Central Equatoria, from Eastern Equatoria, from Western Equatoria, from Upper Nile, from Jonglei, from Northern Bahr Ghazal, from Western Bahr. He picked those as bad apples. That's what they do. Because the people who don't have heart for the people who have no touch with people, these are the people that are working with Salva Kiir because they are protecting that. Have you heard Ezekiel Lut a couple of weeks ago when he said that? Salva Kiir, they are our tribe, Betana. Salva Kiir is our tribe. I don't know. أنا إجت ذاته عن كلمة اللي أنا بقدر to describe Ezekiel Lut. See? See how become blind from the power, from the money, from that loyalty? How Salva Kiir can be your tribe? Why not saying South Sudan is your tribe? If you say South Sudan your tribe, I will clap for you and I will admire you. But yeah, again, he encouraged the culture of division so he can survive. Because when people are divided, Salva Kiir is survive and he will be in power. And again, like I said from the beginning, leaders always put themselves on the shoe of vulnerable people. They have empathy, but he hasn't. لو في حاجة حصل في country, something small like this, a leader will come out and he will address it. You see what happened in South Africa? لما الناس طلعوا برا قاعدين يطردوا الناس الافارقه وشنو شنو. Do you see what Ramaphosa did? He talked. He said, no, this is a violation of the law and this thing has to stop. This is what can leader do. Even this great nation of the United States of America, a lot of people, they have disagreement with Donald Trump as the president of this country. But guess what? Last night, when there was a shooting in White House while they were, in celebration. And of course, it was rushed. You got protected and all these things. Look, it's not even 1 hour later. He came out and he spoke. He came out and spoke and he addressed the issue. You remember when he almost to be assassinated at the campaign trial, 2024, there is a blood in his ear. Dumb guy fi Adano. And he was talking. That's the leadership. But Delo Kalam the can has a South Sudan. Oh, the president would have rushed all the way to Johannesburg or Pretoria or to Dubai. Take care of himself. There will be no talking to anyone. The only time that President Kiir last time addressed and make a press conference when people make an allegation that President Kiir is dead because he doesn't want to hear that he came out and said, into your Saharin, why would you say that I'm dead? I'm alive. Into your Bumudu Gabaliawa. That's the only time. But if somebody dying here, or something happened, a tragedy happened in the country, a flooding, a fire, insecurity, whatever is happening, no, he's not interested. Salva Kiir remind me the story. Okay, but as Samak al-Ejil, what timsah? And I repeated this story for a very long time, but that's fine, وكنت سمك العجل كان بخوف هنا بخوف ده بخوف تمسح في النيل on the Nile. And then one day سمك العجل قال للتمساح, why are you afraid of me? I don't have actually teeth. تمساح قال له really? قال له هاي طوالي الضوء قطع. And from that point تمساح بقى ياكل سمك العجل ما بخاف منه despite the fact that it's big, huge, بخاف منه. So زول ما بكون worse always is when you get encouraged. لأن Salva Kiir get encouraged from bad apples and from people who have been silent, who have been complicit. And that's why he got to the point that he is in now. Because he will do something bad and people will do nothing, will not react. And then he will do it again and then people will not react. And then he will do it again and will not react. And now he said, oh, well, man, I can do whatever I want. They are dumb. They're not going to do anything. They don't care about their own interests. You see, that is exactly what happened in our country. Lakin, if people were reacting, like corruption, like killing, لحاجات البطال هو كان قاعد يعمل, Salva Kiir would have backed up long time ago. South Sudan would have been in a better place right now. South Sudan would have been something else. I know you're going to ask me a question. Okay, now we are in this crisis. What can we do now? What should we do now? What could we do now? What can we do? Salva Kiir hasn't listened to you, and he has used you as an scapegoat, and he has looted you, and he has robbed your future. He brought his family, his in-laws are the one ruling the country, are the one looting the country, and he denied the future, your future, and they deny the future of your children and your children. So why keeping him? You are dying from disease, insecurity, okay, things that actually are not supposed to be killing you. So اترجل يا أخي, stand up, ask for your right, stand up, go to the street. Jonkor is not your problem. Nuer is not your problem. Balanda is not your problem. Bari is not your problem. Murle is not your problem. Latuka is not your problem. Shuluk is not your problem. Your problem is the government of Salva Kiir Mayar, is the authoritarian Salva Kiir Mayar. He's the one that allowed what's happening in the country to happen. Therefore, now, because we are people of common good, we are people of common purpose, when we realize that the governments in Sudan, they were marginalizing us, and they were taking advantage, they were killing, and they were doing bad things, we came together and we confronted them. And that's what needed to happen now. We need to rise up together, because if we are united, we will be defeating this. Because united people shall never be defeated. And we can do that, you and I, all the opposition, including the IO. You will not. You IO, you will not by yourself. And you see how this government have played you. And you have seen how Salva Kiir have created tactic. You IO, you National Salvation, all the UPA members, political movement, all South Sudanese political alliances, it is necessarily to put the differences aside, to quit thinking that the community X and community Z and community A are the problem, and know and diagnose the problem, that actually our problem is political in nature, and Salva Kiir is the reason that we are in this position that we are in right now. So what we can do, we need to come together, sensitize people, sending a unified message that actually enough is enough, and you need to go out, and Salva Kiir must be deposed, must be kicked out of the power, because he's the reason that you are suffering, is the reason your children are suffering, because it has divided you, and we cannot afford to be divided more than this. And above all, we must unite our national discourse. لا بد من توحيد الخطاب. الخطاب لازم يكون خطاب موحد. الخطاب القومي لازم يكون موحد. You cannot just say that Nuer are the problem, Nuer are the one causing this problem, and you cannot say that Dinka are the problem, are the one causing problem, and you cannot sit there and say the Equatorial always, they are thinking they want to break away, they are doing this. We want to put all these differences, and we know our real common enemy. Our real common enemy is Salva Kiir Mayardit, is the government of Salva Kiir Mayardit. Are those who are looting, are those who are, robbing the future of the children of the country. Let us unify the national discourse. الكامبين بتاعنا يكون targeted to one specific لحكومة ده لJ1. Not لنوير, not لدينكا, not لشلوك, not لباري, not لبالاندا, not لبونغو, not لغولو, or not ليولو, or not ل Nyangwara. No. It's for these. They are the one that are causing the problem. You need to hear it loud. But you know what? If you are not making sense, if you are not thinking about this, and if you are keeping saying that, oh, the way that I'm campaigning, the divisiveness messages that you are sending out, if you think this is the one that's going to get you out, you are wrong. I said this since 2019, and I keep saying it. We must be united. Because the Dinka are suffering and the Nuer are suffering. No one is better than other. Just kleptocratic. The kleptocrats, the totalitarian, those who are in J1. Family of Mayardit, his in-laws, his uncles, So Adut, now she's the co-president with her father. They are doing anything that they want to do to enrich themselves and to silence everybody. You can be brought in today, but tomorrow you'll be fired and you'll be humiliated, like what happened to many and many and many. You seen how they humiliated Paul Malong last time, the most powerful general in South Sudan, at the day when his daughter, his beloved daughter, died in Nairobi, and he was prevented to go and bury his loved one. Have you seen that? Is any humiliation more than that? Have you seen what they did to former finance minister Marial? You know, his lovely daughter died, and he was not allowed even to go when they were telling him she's going to die anyway, and he, you know, he was asked to come and go and see, but they refused because he's in Blue House. So you can be with Salva Kiir, Sadiq, Hamim, friend for the time being, because he doesn't believe in loyalty. He believes in thug's life. That's what it is. So what else? And you communities, you don't want to be like this. إلا بعد ما عملوا humiliation لزول بتاعكم, بعد كده you feel, oh man, Salva Kiir ما كويس. But he has been doing this for a long time. He has been doing it everywhere. And we have been telling you, don't buy the idea that, oh, no, don't buy that idea. It's not going to take us anywhere. Buy the ideas that we are the people of South Sudan, people of common purpose, people that fought for justice, liberty, and prosperity, people that want to have schools for every child, people that wanted to have road to Barkazar, road to Upper Nile, road to Equatoria. These are the things that unite us more. These are the things that actually we can be benefit as a whole nation, you know, because other than that, it will use you today and tomorrow will dump you. You saw not back. They have been used and they have been dumped, even to extend that Zolim Chejiri, Ajanimshek border. Zolkan Minister of Finance. Zolkan Hajj. What a shame. Shub Junubin Benazil and Fusum Leatum Mustawa. Imagine. I know. People will say, Jonko, what can we do? We cannot talk. There is no freedom of expression in South Sudan because it's restricted. If you speak, you will be killed or you end up in J1. I understand. Yes. And that's why we are your voice. That's why we are here speaking. Because Inta, mind the quwa wala hawla. But it will come a time that is enough is enough. Enough is enough. You cannot do it anymore. But I can speak because I have the resources. I have the internet. I am working. I can support my kids. They can go to school. And I'm okay. But you, if Salva Kiir felt threat that something like 2 days ago, they will shut down everything. They will deploy all the army on the road and حتى زول الماشي بالدقدقة it will stop. حتى المرة الماشي بيشاي she will stop. She will not because they don't care. They care about their own. عشان كده أنا قلت لك قبل they don't put themselves. هما بيكون نفسه في shoes بتاع أنت المسكين. Will not do that. You understand my point now. That's why we must get out of this. You need to support. We need to support one another. Any campaign against one another is a failure. And that's why we haven't succeeded as an opposition. Because only differences. The government is entertained. Salva Kiir is entertained. They are working hard actually to infiltrate you. Even, do you know what they do? مرات برسلوا الناس عشان يكونوا أعضاء في أوساطنا. You know? Sometimes you feel that, oh, there is a lot of members, you know, they come, you know, we got a lot of members. No, they have become more, but there are a lot who come to infiltrate you, to destroy you within. Hassle, I know. Hassle to a lot of people, they did. But they cannot do that because we know them. To us, they cannot do it. So, it is the time. I know you have been speaking. Now the community of Rumbek that started speaking, the Lake State, they start feeling the pain, especially what happened to, you know, to former Minister of Finance. To what happened Ring Twin Mabor is the one that stabilized the Lake State. Look what they did. They get him out. Look what happened to Bolmel. And Bolmel actually has been used for a very long time as a scapegoat. You see, can Samla ala Asal, my President Salva Kiir. Do you remember at the end of the day when they wanted to get rid of him, what they did? They said he still money, he did this and he did this. وقتل الناس, وجاب جيش بتاع Uganda وعمل حاجات كتير. They threw a lot of stuff on him. And then after that, do you remember I used to criticize Bolmel? Even my own people, they will say, John Korea, you are too much. Into Malag. Now people are start realizing that what I'm doing is not bad thing. It's a good thing for them. Because I've seen it long time ago. You have to envision what's happening. To study Salva Kiir, you don't have to be genius. To study his daughter, you don't have to be genius. Another Hawladel Kullu, you don't have to be genius to study them, to know what they are doing. وَمِن ثِمَارَهُمْ تَعْرِفُونَهُمْ. We knew them. Look what happened to Bolmel at the end of the day. The man that Salva Kiir has used for money laundering for a very long time. They benefit from him a lot. But at the end of the day, when they feel that he is أجنحته يعني شوية كده إني أرى رؤوس قد عينات وهان قطافها وإني لقطافها فقطع لأنه خلاص شافوا شوية كده because from being a boy become a man, and they don't want you to be a man. You can be a boy and serve them. This is what family of Maya did want. But soon you become a man, which is you speak to yourself now and you say, no, this is wrong, ya Jama, this is wrong. They say, okay, now you are a man. You have no space here. The kalam بيعمل English zaman. بيعمل للجنوبين. Maybe some of you, they are not aware of this. You are put in school, but if the hair start growing in your, lower private part, if the hair start growing in your lower private part, and then they will pull you from school. لأنه خلاص بيعرف دول خلاص جايب راجل بقى واعي. خلاص بطلعوك برا من المدرسة. This is what Salva Kiir is doing. If you are growing, خلاص. Not growing in your body, but growing mentally, growing knowing something. And شوية كده you are gaining the power. No. ده هيكون danger بالنسبة لي. لأنه هو ما بيجامل في القوة. ما بيفرط فيه. Salva Kiir is not even going to succeed, to give this power to anyone, because he's going to die in it. And I said this for a very long time. When he will die in power, because that's what he wanted to do. But why should we allow somebody to do this? To make us suffer and humiliate us and humiliate our country. Why? We must have that human conscience. You need to have that human conscience. ولو عندك ضمير انساني انت you will say no man كلام فارغ انتوا قاعدين تعملوا ده for a long time is enough. انت لازم يكون ده كرامتك يعني حتى ولو ده يعني انت هتموت فيه. Okay, you must. You understand my point? So اخوتي في المعارضة اخوتي في معارضة IO, please do not feel that you are bigger so you don't need anyone. We are in this together. You're supposed to be an advocate for all the country, so all the opposition can be together. Because Salva Kiir is going to use the tactic always, Nas Falan, community Falan are problem, or these are problem. This is what they have succeeded. And this is what I tell our people. Do not buy the ideas وحده اللي شنو لو موانجان يتواحد عشان يكون في development ده كان بيكون كويس. لكن اي وحده من اجل support Salva Kiir is a failure, because Salva Kiir has failed the nation. So nothing we are going to gain with that. So important. Uprising is what we need. All the opposition must be speaking about uprising to encourage the citizen to go to the street. Salva Kiir must be deposed. This is the real campaign. And our campaign should be directed against this totalitarian regime, not against any community. No. Community mind doing Mishkala Mark. No mind do Mishkala Mark, Denka mind do Mishkala Mark. If you think Denka into Mishkala Mark, then you are a failure too. If you think Nuer into Mishkalamak, you are a failure too. Because our community, we will never get rid of them, because community are the one that made South Sudan. South Sudan is South Sudan because of community. It's South Sudan because of Nuer, it's because of Dinka, because of Balanda, because of Bari, because of Lotuka, because of Kakwa, because of Nyangwara, because of Murley, because of Maban, because of all this 64 tribe. That's what South Sudan. So if you are campaigning against one of them, then you have a problem. Or against 2 of them, and then 4 of them, and then 10 of them, then you have a problem. Because they don't have any problem with you. Hear it from me. Try to wake up and listen to your heart and see things in a rational way. ما بطريقة السخيفة اللي سلفا كير علمكم بو يعني عشان يعمل divide ويقسمكم. No. They must be deposed. And that's why unifying the national discourse, working together, all the oppositions, and sending a clear message to our citizens that actually uprising is a solution for you. It is a solution for all of us. We need this country to go. This country cannot succeed as long as President Kiir is in charge, as long as his daughter is in charge, as long as those cliques are in charge, we are not going to go well. With that, I would like to thank you for coming and watching and listening. I want you to go ahead and share this live broadcast, share it on the groups, share it on your wall. If you believe in our message, and this is the important message, try to have a moral courage to share it. Try to have a moral courage to speak to your friend, to your brother, to your cousin, that, hey, put the differences. South Sudan is our tribe. South Sudan is our mother homeland. We don't have anything other than South Sudan. So with that, I thank you so much. Next time, with a new episode of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. Until we meet again, have a lovely night.
Let up and feel the sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound African one love. Ethiopia. Salam alaikum. Morocco. Salam alaikum. Libya. Salam alaikum. Tunisia. Salam alaikum. Nigeria. Salam alaikum. Niger. Salam alaikum.